so excited, as always, to be back with you again. And if this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to encourage you, make you laugh, or just give you something to think about. If you are returning, hey friend! I am so just always excited to just come and share lessons and just have conversations, about things that sometimes get overlooked or things that we learn. So really excited for us to go on this journey. We're living life, we're learning life, and we're loving through the whole process. So I'm really excited for that. This is a little bit of a different setting. I'm on my break right now at work, but I'm just super excited to just have this opportunity each week to sit with you and share things that I'm learning, or like I said, different things to encourage you. So today's lesson is sponsored by my life, but talking about, I actually have a poem in my book, and it's called Him, Us, or Me. And it was like the gist of a situation that I was going through, a relationship that I was in that was not working. And I had to make a conscious decision whether I was going to remain in the situation for the aesthetic of it, do what that relationship required me to do that was not natural to me, or choose what God's plan for my life was. And I had to remind myself in writing, thank God for, the words that He gave me to write in that time was, the current situation does not dictate the entirety of your life. And I think sometimes we can get into a place where it's kind of like, because I am in this right now, I can't see beyond this. Like I never, looking back on that situation, it's kind of like, why, how did I get through that? Why would I, stay in that situation, and, never thinking while in it, didn't think that I'd ever be able to get out of that and grow past it. Different things in my life. I've been at that place many times, and not so much just with relationships, but just with life stuff, like like things that go on in your mind, your emotions, different things, and you kind of get to a place, like I said, where it's just like you just cannot see past where you are, but it's so important, to just really hope that there is better beyond what you're in right now. I know a lot is going on right now. So many people are losing their lives to different illnesses. So many families are like not talking. There's so much going on. People losing their properties, all the life stuff, the unfortunate life stuff, friends not being friends anymore, all the things that the Bible actually speaks about in the end. Really hard things to deal with. People are alone, all these types of things, and it's kind of hard to see like the light at the end of the tunnel. We're in for the last year and a half, we've been in a very difficult time that thankfully God has allowed us to navigate through, even now. And it kind of made us feel like there was no light, there was no hope, it's kind of like, how can you can't see the way that's good in all the bad, right? But looking back, I do remember, like, even in this situation with the health crisis that we're in, I remember being so afraid and not knowing how it would ever let up. And that fear was just like terrible. But it's just amazing now to sit and be like, wow, God, like, again, you keep showing us ways that no matter what stuff looks like, you're in control. And I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes, and I know the questions come up, if He's absolutely God, how can this happen? If He's, this amazing Father, why would He let His children be ill? If He created it and He's in control, how could this happen? How could that happen? And it's so many things that we can't answer, but I just want to encourage someone how I'm encouraged that we can only hope and pray that what His words are and what He what God has shown us through Jesus Christ, that his example, that everything will be okay, even in the rough stuff, everything will work out for our good. We have to just be encouraged and hope that his words are true and have faith in that. And it's super hard, and it may sound like, like a blanket statement, but to be honest, it's kind of like, I can either choose, because it's a choice, I can either choose to linger in my fear and really meditate on how this fear is making me feel, or I can meditate on this or whatever, and stay in that place, or I can say, okay, I acknowledge this is how I'm feeling in this situation. I acknowledge this is what I can do. I'm going to take into account the wise counsel in whatever circumstance I'm in. I'm going to pray about it, and I'm going to hand it to God. And because I can't control everything, I'm going to let it go. You may not be able to change that situation. You may not, you may have no control over it whatsoever. But just allowing God to show you that your current situation is not always. You have options, and it's not by our power or our might, of course. It's just because he loves us. And I think for me, that's like the wonderful thing, just knowing that no matter where I'm at right now, or where I want to be and I'm not, or whatever is going on, my current situation doesn't dictate my always. It's so easy for us to get into a place where we are ungrateful and not even knowing it. It's a crazy thing when you don't even know that you're ungrateful until God convicts you by, or at least that's what I see it as for me, because he allows me to see things that will make me really consider how I act and what I complain about. And it brings me to like the story of the prodigal son. So for those who don't know, big summary of the story was he basically was in a rich family, very well off. He was like the silver spoon type kid, and this son, the father loved his sons. He had 2 sons, and he loved his kids. And of course, like any good father, he set them up for success. He set them up for financial freedom, we'll say, a term for us, financial freedom. And, of course, that was something that they would receive upon losing him, right? Of course, they were well taken care of while he was still, with them. So they had nothing to worry about. Long story short, the young son decided he wanted his money now. So he was like, cash me out, Dad, I'm out. And he was basically complaining, like he wanted his money when he wanted his money. So his dad was like, cool. He cashed out the stocks and bonds and all, whatever. He gave it to him, and he let him do what he did. The son leaves, and when I say he's spending, he's doing all he wants to do, whatever, he's chilling, until he runs out, because he didn't allow the gift to build. He didn't allow that thing to, sit and, gain interest and all. Like, he was just blowing through it, and just completely ungrateful, and just completely not knowing how to navigate such a gift. Without even knowing how to navigate it, he just wanted it. And selfishly, he took it and ran with it. So the story ends up that he's out of money. He's partied himself to death, and he is hungry and destitute. And his family is still the same loving family, the same well-off family, but he's deciding to go and choose a bad way of life just because he wasn't satisfied or contented with the great life that he had, until he realized that the low life that he chose wasn't where it was at all along. And in this situation, this lesson for me comes up, and this story comes up in terms of a lesson for me today, because it's like, it's easy to get to a place where you complain because you don't have something that you wanted, or because you have too much of something that you don't care for, or, you know, all these different things. But I was convicted today. I don't think I was complaining about a lot of things, but I think maybe I definitely can see where I was. And I was minding my business, and I see a lady who had no choice but to eat out of the garbage. And it's not like I haven't seen, unfortunately, homeless people before, but it's just not, it really puts into perspective what's important. I can sit and complain at a restaurant about the fact that I don't get enough sauce with my food, while this young lady, maybe middle-aged African-American lady, has to choose from previously eaten, discarded scraps and garbage to nourish her. It's just, life is so much more important than just always having the best of everything. It's great to have that, but it's also great to be respectful, to be grateful, to appreciate the things that God allows in your life, and allowing those gifts to grow as He sees fit, allowing the increase that we always pray for and sing about to really be ready. So I guess that's just a tidbit of lesson today. It had to be said. Be grateful. Your situation today may not always be your situation, and bad or good. So we have to be grateful in the now. Where you are now is not your always, and if you're in a good place now, that's not always either. Which, you know, you could elevate more, you could gain more success, you can be happier, you can, you know, find more joy in the things of life, you can learn new lessons. It's never like a stagnant situation, and that's the blessing of life. God allows us the choice to make different circumstances in our lives, and even stuff that we can't control, He works them out for our good when we are the called according to His purpose. So leave it. Just gonna leave it. I'm so excited for this place in my life. I'm so excited for the lessons that we're learning together, and I hope that you will remember, as I always say, remember to love God, because He is the source of real love. Remember to love God, okay? Remember to love yourself and appreciate who God created you to be, being yourself. And then while you're getting all that good loving and loving on yourself, remember to share that love with other people, because that is the way your world continues to go around. I love you so very much, and I hope that you know that. Go forth and prosper. Bye.